All right, let's get right into it. We need to talk about a huge paradox, something that absolutely haunts some of the smartest people trying to trade the markets. It's the real reason why being brilliant doesn't mean you're going to make money.
Let's just state the facts. You're sharp. You see patterns others miss, you pick things up fast, and you definitely have the brain power to figure out complex ideas.
And you've put in the work, right? You get the concepts. Liquidity, order blocks, risk to reward, that stuff makes sense to you. The technical side? That's not the problem. You got that down.
But here's the punchline. Even with all that knowledge, even with that high IQ, the P&L can still be a sea of red. In fact, some of the smartest traders I know are the ones who blow up the fastest. So what on earth is going on here?
This is the absolute truth you have to burn into your mind. The market does not care about your test scores. It doesn't reward your IQ. It rewards discipline when you're under extreme pressure. It's a performance game, pure and simple. And today, we're going to learn the rules of that game.
So, here's our roadmap. First, we'll nail down why intelligence just isn't enough. Then, we'll diagnose the 4 psychological traps that catch smart traders. After that, we get to the solution, a 5-step discipline framework. We'll even see it play out in a case study and finish with what it really takes to go pro. Okay, let's get into the diagnosis. These are the 4 big mental hurdles that your intelligence on its own will never be able to clear. Be honest with yourself here. See which one of these sounds a little too familiar.
First up, overconfidence. This is the silent account killer, especially for smart people. You start to trust your own brain so much that you think you can predict what's going to happen next in a world that's all about probability. You think your brilliant analysis is somehow better than the cold, hard odds.
And here's what that actually looks like in practice. You nail a few winners in a row, and that dangerous little voice starts whispering, "I finally cracked it," right? So you start upping your position size based on how confident you feel, not based on your rules. Next thing you know, you're blowing past your daily loss limit, revenge trading, and putting that whole prop firm account in jeopardy.
You know, there's actual psychology behind this. It's like the Dunning-Kruger effect on steroids. Smart people assume that because they're good in one area, say academics, they'll naturally be good at staying cool when their own money is evaporating in seconds. But listen, they are 2 completely different skill sets. Academic intelligence does not equal emotional armor.
Which leads us straight into trap number 2, emotional volatility. Look, you can have the most perfect data-driven analysis on the planet, but you can't reason with a cortisol spike. When you're in a live trade and things go sideways, your primal brain, that fight-or-flight response, it just takes over. It hijacks the whole system.
And the science on this is crystal clear. Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman proved it. The psychological pain of losing is literally twice as powerful as the good feeling you get from a win of the same size. That's why a single 1R loss can feel absolutely devastating and make you want to do something stupid, while a 1R win barely even moves the needle. Your own biology is rigged against you.
And now we get to what is probably the most dangerous trap of them all, ego involvement. This is when trading stops being about executing your edge and it becomes about proving that you are right. A losing trade isn't just a bad outcome anymore. It feels like a personal attack on your intelligence. It feels like you are a failure. The warning signs are so clear. You find yourself literally arguing with the chart, saying things like, "No way, price has to bounce here." You refuse to cut a loser even when your whole setup is invalidated. You start firing off trades not to make a profit, but just to prove that you were right all along. This is exactly how accounts get blown to smithereens.
Okay, the final trap is a pure numbers game, risk mismanagement. It's shocking how many brilliant traders who understand complex strategies have a completely superficial grasp of risk mathematics. They just don't truly get the reality of losing streaks, that they will happen, or the math behind the probability of ruin.
And this slide says it all. The smart amateur thinks, I'm smart, I'll just win more often than I lose. The professional thinks completely differently. The professional asks, what is my plan for when I inevitably lose 5, 6, 7 trades in a row? One is planning to be right, the other is planning to survive. Okay, that's the diagnosis. That's the bad news. Now let's flip the script and get to the good news. Let's talk about the prescription. This is the actionable, practical framework you're going to use to build a fortress around your emotions and finally start trading like a pro.
This is it, the 5-step framework. 1. Pre-commitment structure. That means every single rule, entry, exit, risk, is defined before the market ever opens, when you're calm and rational. 2. Mechanical risk protocol. Your risk is non-negotiable. It's a number, not a feeling. You never, ever size up just because you feel extra confident. 3. Emotional circuit breakers. These are your emergency brakes, like a max daily loss limit. The moment you hit it, you are done for the day. No exceptions. They exist to save you from yourself. 4. Performance-based review. At the end of the day, you grade yourself on only one thing. Did you follow your plan? Your profit or loss is irrelevant to this review. And finally, number 5, and this one is huge, identity detachment. You have to cut the cord between your self-worth and your last trade. A loss is just a data point. It says nothing about how smart you are.
So, theory is one thing, but let's see how this actually works in the real world. Let's look at a case study of 2 traders going through a prop firm evaluation, the ultimate pressure cooker. Just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got trader A. Smart guy, gets the market, but he's a psychological mess. He risks way too much, gets cocky after wins, hits his loss limit, and he fails. Now look at trader B. He's all about discipline. He risks a small, fixed amount on every trade. He only takes his best setups. He never breaks a single rule. And what happens? He passes. The lesson here couldn't be clearer. It's not about who's smarter. It's about who has the better process.
So let's bring this all home. Let's talk about the final critical mindset shift you have to make if you want to leave the amateur world behind and become a true professional.
This might be tough to swallow, but it's the God's honest truth. That perfect strategy you spent months and months developing, it's only about 30% of what makes you successful. Your brain power got you to this point, but it's not what's going to get you to the next level.
The other 70%, the vast majority of this game, comes from everything else we just talked about. Your emotional control, your ironclad risk management, and that unwavering discipline to execute your plan perfectly, especially when it's the last thing you want to do.
So forget trying to be the smartest trader out there. The market doesn't care. It rewards consistency over genius. It rewards risk control over conviction. It rewards emotional neutrality over gut feelings. And it rewards thinking in decades, not in days. These are all skills of discipline, not intelligence.
I want you to let this final thought sink in deep. Your survival in this business, your longevity, has nothing to do with how brilliant you are. It is earned every single day through your behavior. Master your behavior, and you will master the market.